Hi, this is James from the Hornbill Professional Services team, and this is a short tutorial to show you how to configure the option selector functionality on the self-service wizard. So this is used on self-service and is an option that you can use other than asking just a simple question. So there is also videos around advanced functions of the self-service wizard, but this is just another way of doing it. So I'm going to go into my wizard, so it's in File, Manage Settings, General Settings, and then into Self-Service Wizards. So I'm just going to create another wizard. Just call it Test2. Then go into the wizard and create a step, and then into the questions. So here you can see a wide range of particular questions that you can ask, either in a checkbox, radio box. Here we're going to use option selector. We didn't go over that really in our previous tutorials. It's just been requested by one of our customers, so it's I'll go through this particular functionality for you. So I'm going to ask a question here, perhaps who is the manager. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this particular tab here to determine a list of people in our system here, and we can filter it and build upon it as much as we can here. So what I'm going to do is I want a selection box. So this is two different selections. I want to select the actual company, so I'm going to choose the organization. I'm just going to put the key column of company name, display column of company name. So I'm going to put in here choose an organization. So you can enter in filters such as company name like this, or if you want to keep it just blank, if you've only got a few company names, that's absolutely fine. You can just keep it blank there. So now what I'm going to do is just go down to the bottom half here, and I'm just going to choose UserDB, which is of course our customer table. I'm going to select key search as the key column, so that's obviously the primary key for that particular table. I'm going to use the display column as the full name, so we can see the full name of the person. And then what we're going to filter it on. So I want to filter it based on what we're choosing here, the company name. So I'm always going to use this particular filter column as the same as the primary tab here. So again, you can enter in information here. So you can add in information such as maybe fk_manager equals 1. So this will make sure that it only comes back with people who are flagged as a manager, or you can simply just take it out and display a full list. So I've added that question. Now what we need to do is just associate this wizard with our service. So I've created a test service here. So it's in the cost and subscriptions and the revenues. And if I just go into our edit request form, just going to select the test2. So let's now open a browser. And just go to our self-service portal. There we go. So I'm just going to log on as my subscribed customer and go into my services and raise request. So as you can see, this is how the wizard appears for this particular question, and here we've got the information that I put in. So choose an organization, so this will show my list of organizations. If you've put a filter in, then obviously it's going to filter it. Here I've only got one organization created, so I'm going to click on that organization. This will then open in a separate tab. So this will then appear with checkboxes for selections. So again, this is the secondary query, which obviously we choose the UserDB table, and you could simply just select one or a number of them. If you have multiple organizations, this will open in a separate tab, so you can choose several at the one time. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the wizard and slightly change how I've got that set up. So test 2. So let's say we want to display a list of assets. So obviously we don't want to be searching the company table for assets. What I'm going to do in this particular example is show the type. So it's in the config type I. Let's change the label there and set the primary key again, so pk config type. And what you want actually to display. So I want to display type display because that will show the best for me. I'm going to change user DB down here. So again, you can actually use user DB with config type I or config item I even. In this case, I'm going to choose config item I at the bottom because I want a list of CIs rather than the people themselves. And I'm going to choose ck config item as a key column, which I know is the primary key. I want the ck config item to display again, so it'll be the actual name of my CI. And I'm filtering by the type. So again, it matches because I know the ck config type is the pk config type. It will match. Again, you can enter in filters as and when you wish. I'm going to save changes there, and then if I relog back in, okay, so now we're going to relog on to the portal and just request the same service again. So here we can show that it shows a little bit differently. It will show the types in a list here. So I know I have a item created under the desktop type, and here we go. Here it shows the actual desktop type that I've got under there. So this is the test CI. This is the CI that I've created. I only have one created in my test system here, but again, these will show in a list unless you filter them. So the same goes for all of these individual types here. So again, you might want to filter out where the type is me. So all these will be me dash right arrow customer. So I can show you that right now, so that'll be quite handy. So if I go back into our wizard, choose the asset, there we go. So you can do it where the fk config type not equal to or not like me so let's log out and back in again. There we go. So you can see that it's a lot condensed list if you enter in these filters. So like I said before, these will open up in separate tabs. If you've got records to display, it will do so. Just be careful that when you do filters on the second stage, you don't want it to do it too generic, otherwise you won't get information in some of these tabs if you do that. So that's it. That's how to use these optional selectors for the self-service wizard. If you have any questions, please let me know.